There are many types of plants around us. Look at some of the plants in this garden. Do you know the names of these plants? Click on the plants to find out. Chrysanthemum, rose, mango tree, tall grass, hibiscus, durian tree, grass, durian tree. Plants continue to exist because they reproduce. How does the durian tree reproduce? Click on the correct... Yes, the durian tree can reproduce both. In this unit, you are going to learn about how these flowers are commonly found in Malaysia. Some of these flowers are grown in our gardens and fruit orchards, and others can be found growing wild. Other than having different colors, can you spot any differences in the structure of the various flowers? Are the flowers of the same shape and size? Do you know the name of the parts of a flower? Railway creeper, papaya flower, frangipani, chrysanthemum, rose, hibiscus. The parts of a flower are many. This is a flower bud. It is the unopened flower. Look, the structure is opening into several parts. These are the sepals. The sepals protect the flower bud. Later, the sepals open to allow the petals to grow. Some petals also produce fragrance. Nectaries which produce nectar can be found at the base of some petals. We will now view the virtual dissection of a typical flower. Let's look at the structures inside the flower from the top view. Now, let's look at the same structures inside the flower in longitudinal section. These are the stamens, which are the male reproductive organs of the flower. Each stamen consists of the oval-shaped anther and the thin stalk-like filament. Let's take a closer look at one of the ripe anthers. The anther has tiny grains in it called pollen grains. Let's take a closer look at the structure in the center of the flower. It looks like a vase with a long neck. It's the pistil. The top of it is sticky. This is the stigma. The long section is known as the style. The slightly elongated and thickened base of it is called the ovary. All of these three parts, that is, the stigma, style, and the ovary, make up the female reproductive organ of the flowering plant. Let's cut open the pistil. We will first observe a longitudinal section of the pistil and then in cross-section. The style is hollow and there are several oval objects arranged neatly inside the ovary. These are the ovules. Now, let's look at the questions again. Other than having different colors, can you spot any differences in the structure of the various flowers? How are they different? We can see that all flowering plants have male and female reproductive organs. The structures of the flowers differ in shape, size, and number of parts. The differences will determine their pollinating agents, which play an important role in their survival. Now, let's see if you remember what the names of the flower parts are in this crossword puzzle. Type in the answer in the appropriate squares. Name the parts of the flower shown in the figure. The different parts of a flower are the sepals, petals, stamen, and pistil. The male reproductive organ is the stamen, which is made up of the anther and filament. The female reproductive organ is the pistil, which is made up of the stigma, style, and ovary. Almost everybody in Malaysia loves to eat durian. Look at the durian flowers. Have you ever seen one? Can you tell whether these are male or female flowers? Look at the papaya flowers. Mouse over the flowers to take a closer look. Do they look the same? Where are the male gametes found? Mouse over the part where you think the male gametes are found. Good! The male gametes are found in the pollen grains contained in the anthers. Where are the female gametes found? Mouse over on the part where you think the female gametes are found. Good! The female gametes are found in the ovules contained in the ovary. The anther contains numerous pollen grains. The male gametes are found in the small and light pollen grains. Do you know what the function of the male gamete is? The function of the male gamete is to fertilize the female gamete in order to form a zygote. The ovary contains several ovules. In each ovule, there are the female gametes. Do you know what the function of the female gamete is? The female gamete will fuse with the male gamete to form a zygote, which then develops into an embryo within the seed. This seed will grow into a new flowering plant of the same kind. Let's look at the question again. Can you tell whether these durian flowers are male or female flowers? Durian flowers are bisexual. That is, there are both male and female reproductive parts in a flower. The papaya flower is different. The male flower is different from the female flower. These types of flowers are known as unisexual flowers. In the boxes are the scrambled letters of the reproductive organs of the flower. Click on the correct answer. The male gametes are contained in the pollen grains. The female gametes are contained in the ovules. The function of the male reproductive part of the flower is to produce the male gamete. The function of the female reproductive part of the flower is to produce the female gamete. Which of the following characteristics enable the flower? Click on one of the questions to see the answer. Let's look at the different parts of a flower again. Sepal, petal, anther, filament, stamen, stigma, style, ovary, pistil. The male reproductive part of a flower is the stamen. Each stamen consists of the anther and the filament. The female reproductive part of a flower is the pistil. Each pistil consists of the stigma, style, and ovary. The male gametes are found in the pollen grains contained in the anther. The female gametes are found in the ovules contained in the ovary. The male gamete fuses with the female gamete in order to form a zygote. The zygote will develop into an embryo within the seed. This seed will then give rise to a new flowering plant of the same kind. You have learned about the names and location of each part of a flower. Here are several types of flowers. You should now be able to label all the parts of these flowers. Choose a flower by clicking on it. Then, key in the names of the parts of the flower. Click Check Answer to see if you have answered correctly. This is a Rafflesia flower. It is the largest flower in the world. There are more than 10 species of Rafflesia. How does the Rafflesia plant reproduce? Asexually or sexually? Do you know where the male and female reproductive organs of the Rafflesia flower are? How does the Rafflesia flower obtain its food? What are the uses of the Rafflesia flower? Get into groups to find out the answers to these questions and more about the Rafflesia flower. Are there any other flowers which have the same characteristics as the Rafflesia? Find out more. What other plants have unisexual flowers?